Ebusia ini kuma our challenge so aksi AGH project Albany. Podcast house training because making headlines. Na jemre na ili bi eksumpo na insimbi ABB insimbi pu unya ifri abronye kwame bafu abronye ede abeto unya abeko ohia TV omo page unya ehun ebehia se yema ebi eksumwo eduru aboboa no because ensema eboboba de Kamia kwa yese MPP ama ikono sebi osun sebi enyado wan hwe agua eni bigu because ba koyo enim we 82 na insema abronyo edi bi ababutin eno se osimre bi atwam Honorable Kennedy Agyapong a police for invite no omo etoto na no omo ebo no kokko de no achi no omo esan ema ni bill na ne nyina na amedswali ni wuyi hu asem hyeno somami se emre bi atwam according to abronye o kire se Honorable Kennedy Agyapong amedswali picture eto net 2 television so boni hinya anichibi na yenyane tie se abrantie no wa frim na saa ewuyi na ayadia eda NDC amayuko no akoma so payi pa impo omu ediye omu campaign message kan plain enye plain fa se omu ba omu behwe na ewuo no de kofa ba ye ne pe nam no so mane wuyi nyina no omu atumi ede ne pa no abegina emra no ememra enu nadi yanka bia nhim na ihu se Honorable Kennedy Agyapong wodi pickups any motorbikes etumi edi akwakoma Ghana Police Service na abronye ebusa o was investigation no na police for no no achede na ewura mu ntino o ma compromise ya na asema abronye ebusa na wodi de wose o file petition edi akoma UN Security Council eni chebi kra efasa asem wosi hu se Ghana Police Service so musi omonye nhwenu enhu asem ni fare ba idea ene na omu beko UN Security Council na omu akoyi omu ano onua eno ena ya project flyer no ede ato screen so ede ama wo na se kwame bafo abronye rights. He was invited, interrogated, cautioned and subsequently granted bail in respect of the death of Amedswali, which was then a key campaign promise of NDC party. Some months ago, the CID boss stated at a press conference that investigation into Amedswali's death were still ongoing. A few days later, the police received a pickup and motorbike from the same person who has been cautioned and granted bail in the Swali case. Now, has the investigation been compromised? It is public knowledge that Swali's picture were displayed on Net 2 TV and he was murdered a few days after broadcast. 2 days ago, the same person on Net 2 TV threatened my life and went on to say that I could see what would happen to me in the coming days. Surprisingly, the police have remained silent about it. It was a contractor. Was it a contractor? I beg your pardon. Was it a contract killing? Is he planning to contract people to kill me? I'll be filing a petition before the UN Security Council in the coming days against the individuals and the police service. So far, we if Abrony and Eba, let's say you more
to educate me, but you know, I found it very scandalous that a foreign court will be pontificating over our judicial processes that are actually just in process. You know, if we also start doing that about them, would that be okay? I don't know. You know, there's a matter of sovereignty and also a matter of accountability. The discussion around Ofori-Atta is not a matter of a conversation about just a private citizen. It's about the Constitution and the constitutional duty of accountability. Our constitution is very clear. It actually sets us all, the republic, which covers both public officers and the citizenry, on the clear path of probity and accountability. Read the preamble of our constitution. It's the foremost thing there. And also on rule of law. These words that are used in our constitution are not decorative. They are not just for the fun of it. They are binding obligations on all who hold public office. So when you administer practically the most consequential economic crisis in a generation, as the longest serving, finance minister, all right, in the Fourth Republic, I mean, we don't reduce this and think that your decisions that shaped the crisis become a private engagement. These are official decisions using and exercising the power of the state and the power granted by the people at any point in time. It subjects you to that principle of accountability. And Article 35(8) is very clear that the state must take steps to eradicate corrupt practices and the abuse of power. That duty does not end when someone leaves office or secures a permanent stay in a different jurisdiction or even changes his citizenship. You play the role. For me, it's very disappointing that Ofori-Atta, with all the power and all the money he has spent in the US over this case, he didn't find reason to actually spend that on local council to walk through accountability. So you set the right principle of accountability and responsibility as a genuine public officer, a faith believing, a Bible quoting, a white wearing. Talibon here white.
Yes, somebody said, why is it wearing white?
Yeah, let me use the opportunity to announce
white wearing
80th birthday of my lovely Auntie Rose. She comes after my father. So I'm going there after her.
That's why
So viewers say Auntie Rose, may God bless you. Because may He give you long. But let me bless my auntie. Go and bring this matter. You didn't allow me to bless my auntie. Oh, may God bless you, give you long life, and may He continue to give you even more wisdom. Amen.
Everybody say amen.
Amen. On the back of that, we must also celebrate Kali Mesa, Ijapa Mesa's wife, on her birthday as well. You know, unfortunately, Ijapa is not here. Yes. Bobo. So, Mrs. Bobo.
No, interestingly,
happy birthday wherever you are.
He's watching.
Okay.
Says yes.
Yeah. Don't worry. Your lover boy husband asked me to say it for you. So
when he says anything, to read it for us.
It's very critical.
Yeah. Okay.
Bobo, look. So frankly, this conduct of Ofori-Atta is not tenable. When a finance minister like this quietly goes to obtain a U.S. residency, while there are key inquiries that remain unresolved, it naturally raises proper public concern. Not because travel is illegal, but largely because accountability is constitutional. And when you hold public office, you cannot be seeking to exit that like you are exiting some private contract. Ghanaians definitely deserve transparency. They deserve closure. They deserve accountability. They deserve respect for the constitutional promise of accountability and probity. You understand? This is just straight to the point. When you hold office, you should subject yourself willfully to accountability. You know, yourself. So you can purge yourself of that accusation of you exercising that office judiciously and for the good of the people. It is not to say Ofori-Atta is guilty of anything. Some of the arguments, I really wonder how you even go to tie Ofori-Atta on it. But when you've administered the most constitutional, economic, the most significant and consequential economic crisis in this country, and you choose to run away, when you know that you're supposed to be a subject of inquiry, it is dishonorable, it is not Christian, it is not worthy of the quotes he quotes, it's not worthy of the white he wears. And I think that he will do himself and his whole family tree good by subjecting himself and purging himself of all the accusations that exist around his governance and his time in office. He may be exiting this nicely as a private person looking for legal tactics to try and run away from it. But this is not public service in any shape or form. And characters like this should never near public office ever again. You run away What did we not do to Chachu Chikata?
Exactly.
Which of the NDC
arrested in church?
Exactly. Nobody condoned what Sedina was doing. Nobody did. Sedina is a good friend of mine. Nobody did. Adawudu didn't. Nobody sitting here did. Face your law. And you have all the resources. It's not like you don't have money. And you have a good lawyer. Justice is one of the finest legal brains in this country. Fantastic guy. Why are you running from? Run away from your own shadows?
There's persecution already.
Yes. Persecution from where?
And the statements that have been made clearly indicate what he will go through if he comes back.
Persecution from where? Obviously, you are going to go through a process of accountability. It is not nice. It is not nice. Don't think that you're going to go through a process of accountability in a nice way. It doesn't happen like that. You didn't do that to the NDC guys. You didn't do that to what's his name? IUTV or whatever. NCA. You didn't do that to him. Tetevi. You didn't do that to him. You didn't do that to Opuni. You understand? Opuni sat here. He always knew that he was going to be a subject of public inquiry. The noise around Opuni was very loud. All right? We didn't even hear that noise from Tetevi. Look at what they did to Tetevi. He's in jail. You understand? Others have also gone. And they'll be able to survive that and show that their hands are legitimately clean. Lord, didn't you do to Agongo? Please, don't do that. Subject when you decide to come on to chop public office and public influence, which you use to also aggrandize either your own wealth or aggrandize your influence within the general governance and public space. Subject yourself to accountability. Don't run away. When you do that, you betray the trust of the people. You betray the constitution. You defeat the meaning and essence of public office. And you can't honestly claim you're a Christian.
Well, Michael Junior, no, hold on. Yes. So why will you support the call for Ken Ofori-Atta to come and answer for the charges against him?
I don't know about the legality of that call because I don't think that is what is necessarily going to solve the problem. And I think some people are dwelling on the wrong thing. First of all, I want to make this clear that I am not here to defend Ken Ofori-Atta. I don't know what the situation is with Ken Ofori-Atta, his personal situation in the States. I don't know also the strategy of the AG that he would only do his case if Ken Ofori-Atta is here. That is something which is out of my sphere. But my understanding of anything to do with law, English legal jurisprudence, or any other area of human rights are some of the following things which I want us to discuss. First of all, suspicion is not a crime.
100%.
Oh, don't worry. Somehow even ask for 150%.
Yeah,
but suspicion is not a crime. So, the fact that Ken Ofori-Atta is being suspected of a few things, I personally think the services should proceed, and once those are exhausted, then the case should be presented and it should be tried in absentia. Why? Because the man is saying that his medical condition does not allow him to come to Ghana. You can't dispute that. We can't fight over that. And we can't pretend that that in itself is not an issue that he and his lawyers have raised. So let us put that aside. So what we can simply do is we can try him in absentia. After all, we don't need Ken Ofori-Atta to be a witness in his own damning case.
He can even be here and decide not to say a thing.
Yes. And he, even if he's here, he can decide not to say a thing. Because his job is not to aid the prosecution to prosecute him. His job is to defend himself. And if in his defense, his lawyers advise that he should even exercise any amendment and keep quiet, he has the right to do so. So I think that in order to prove that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta has done something untoward, we don't need him in Ghana. So I think that the noise about him having to be in Ghana before his matter can be determined should quieten down.
Well, you indicated you don't even know the strategy.
It's a breach.
Hold on, please.
Trust.
Let me flow like how you were flowing, and Alfred was not interrupting you.
Let him speak.
So let me flow.
What I was doing for you.
No, that's different. Today, I'm hot, but I'll face everybody. It's not a problem.
And it's clear.
But host, let me also flow. Allow me to flow. Because I know you have interjections, but don't interject. Let me flow like him.
Hold on.
So, now, my issue is that, Ken Ofori-Atta, if you have a case against him, do the do.
Agreed.
Do the do.
Agreed.
A lawyer will not talk plenty. This government, you see, the lawyers like to talk in press conferences. They like to bang their hand down. And today, Ken Ofori-Atta doesn't come. He's wearing white, and he's wearing blue, and he's wearing green. What has that got to do with anything? Yeah. Are we saying all green wearing NDC people, therefore they behave like this? Or, don't do
and
that.
all blue are like
yes, well, blue there, you know, blue blood. MPP. But let's put that aside. Look, wherever he wears, whatever church he goes to, whatever it is, we all know that the law provides for various stages. In the case of Madam Sedina, right? She wasn't coming. Did anybody start saying that, if somebody say MPP should bring Ken Ofori-Atta? I mean, can you imagine? Nobody said NDC should bring Sedina. Sedina should bring herself. She didn't come. No. What did the courts do? They tried her in absentia and she became a convict. And they applied for the extradition of a convict, not a suspect. You see the difference? So in this case, where she is convicted, then they have gone ahead. So please, no talking. As I said, do the do. Take Ofori-Atta to court, convict him with the evidence you have. I'm sure all Ghanaians will now say that Wokra is no more suspicion. Is a convicted person. And even his own wife will tell him that, you didn't do it well. But until then, let us stop all of this situation. But you see, this case has taken an international dimension. And if it has taken an international dimension, we have to behave in an internationally approved standard to be able to get certain benefits from international decision makers.
What do you mean?
Very much. Now, this situation of abuse perception-wise, because we know corruption is perception, human rights, perception, where we had people like Japa go to his house, no warrant, armed. Armed.
No. In fact, it actually became a matter of contention. And
it was not security.
National security
warrant. National security.
Which warrant? With the masks and all that.
So if the man is implementing it, doesn't mean that national security had a warrant.
I remember.
Please.
They went there at the deep of the night, went to knock the door, frightened the whole house, and came in there to come and ransack the house. I don't remember any warrant. If there was a warrant, even I think decently, warrant you come at 9 in the morning and execute it.
We went to come at midnight. In church. That one was okay. Anyway, 2 wrongs don't make a right.
Exactly. And when you say you want to reset, I don't like people referring me to things which may not have been palatable in the past. So a reset doesn't involve that kind of behavior. But assuming, without admitting that he had a warrant, I think that the manner that was carried out is not right. And when these kind of things are reported, they went in there as if they were hunting for a rat, some wild lion or tiger that could not be tamed, with all the guns and what they went with. I don't see how that is acceptable with international standards. And you must know that such practice is not akin to good governance. And
we ain't some of the channel so Mamma Saudi Breda, and so what in the Adobe.